Hello. Since I haven't done 73 questions, so we skipped the 73 questions. So we ended up doing Jennifer Lawrence, Sierra Williams, and Ashley Graham. When it comes down to Pandora, what does Pandora do when it comes to a loaf? A loaf of bread means apla, and what does apla means when it comes to a loaf? When it comes down to a person who doesn't understand anything that relates to agency, when it comes down to it, quality control is the one thing I needed help when it comes to quality inspector. When it comes to quality inspector, there's no agency involved, but there is a person who knows an agency with the company, and that's why we're doing company first, other than agency. When it comes down to agency, there are times that you have to figure out who knows human resources. When it comes down to human resources, there is one in particular doesn't even know what's a human resources, but there's no bathroom. So in other words, you have to find the safest place to understand what does manufacturing means, pipeline means, wells means, and construction management. When it comes to this particular person, he doesn't even know what's a well design. He doesn't understand solid waste management. He doesn't understand liquid waste management, or there's three types of management in the water system: solid waste, liquid waste, and another construction, liquid waste, and you have to have a construction background. When it comes to construction background, you have to understand a pipeline. As control engineer, I did a lot of people doing the music industry. When it comes to DVF, DVF is a person who understands fashion, but it contains a lot of contaminations throughout the world, and we have to support what does contamination means. When I was working in Kimco, there was one particular person who doesn't even know what human resource is. So he took over human resources, and he also took the agency. Well, since I've been working on the company, they're looking for inventory clerk. Inventory clerk is the foundation of the fashion designer in Ontario. But when it comes down to Ontario, that particular person did took over the inventory clerk, because he told me that he doesn't like my art. So which is pretty harsh. So you don't, if you don't understand your art, he ended up doing more nail technician, which is pretty good, because nail technician would be particular way of understanding what does the car mean, and what does the car do for a living, which is pretty good. Nail technician have great amount of resources to understand what does nails mean. But if you feel uncomfortable what does nails, he could transfer into hair salon. Hair salon is the one thing you have to understand what does mechanical engineering. If that particular person who doesn't like my art, you have to end up eating a turbine, and he doesn't understand it. So when it comes down to it, there are times that when it comes down to it, my aunt is very special to me. But when it comes down to a person who doesn't like my aunt, doesn't mean a person can't do my aunt's job. So So he ended up working with a particular musicians who understand two civil engineers, which is pretty good because it's not overwhelming, but it's very demanding. Because civil engineering has been very demanding ever since I got that degree in civil engineer. So when it comes to civil engineer, there's three sources: solid waste, liquid waste, and waste management. I've been doing those three management for the longest time. And that particular person who doesn't understand my art. So so hopefully those two people who understand two two musician who understands two civil engineer. One of them are doing the working on the petroleum, which is pretty good. Congratulations. And one of them are owning a restaurant, which is pretty good. And one of the musicians are taking over the acting career. And when it comes down to it, he that particular person are very demanding towards him. So when it comes to my aunt is very intellectual, but she is living in Malaysia right now. So when it comes down to it, there are times that my aunt needs help. So makeup would be the only way to understand what does my aunt do. So makeup would be another way of saying the word what does cartooning do when it comes to a sketch. And when it comes to DVF, DVF would be another way of saying how come you can't work with food but do animation at the same time. That's another way to understand quality control. When it comes to quality control, this might be a problem with quality engineer, because I hired five people who are quality technician and quality designers too. But when it comes down to like heavy loading of other PCs or other Microsoft, there are times that FedEx always needs help, because I need help on FedEx, but there is a lot of thinking involved. So thinking would be a good idea to understand what does FedEx. UPS understand a lot of thinking, but if it's a heavy loading when it comes to a truck all the way from the airplane. But like I said, there's a particular person who doesn't like my art. So anyways, when it comes down to two people who understand one musicians, that would be another way to understand what is the company, rather than using the agency, because I've been using a more agency for the last 3 years, and nothing coming up yet when it comes to human resources. So trying on the I'm trying to understand to contact other two companies with 4 engineers, two companies and 4 engineers who are agency. So there's no outcome, no stress or anything. So hopefully quality control and quality engineer would be a great opportunity for those 5 musicians. Thank you.